In the last video, we unboxed the all-new Ozark Trail FS.2 dual slalom mountain bike. I took it to my buddy's house to make sure everything was working properly and the bike was good to go. And I highly recommend, if you get one of these bikes, you do the same, because as we all know, these bikes can come a little bit sketchy right out of the box. All right, we're gonna try this again. Yesterday was a total, well, not a total failure, but we did a lot of empty miles yesterday trying to get this bike on the trail. But today I think we might have a chance to actually get it out. So we are here at Batasso, and I did a little research today before I started searching for trails. And they say this trail is mostly dry, because as you can see, the bike is a little dirty, but we haven't really ridden it yet. We just got stuck in a little bit of mud before we even got on the trails. Let's hope we don't get too muddy out here. All right, so far, this bike actually feels really good pedaling. The pedaling efficiency feels good out of the gate. You can...
It's pretty bad.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks. Walmart is making a big splash in the bike industry with this bike, and I got something else I want to show you too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications so you don't miss any of these videos coming up, because they are going to be awesome. Now, this helmet situation was not planned, but it just so happens Callie has the perfect helmet to match this bike. That's a win in itself right there. You always got to look good when you ride, man. Make you look better than what you actually are. Make sure you check this flannel out too. I sound like an advertisement right now, but this is just the stuff I wear that I love. But you got to check out this flannel. It's got pockets, inside pocket, and it's got a fleece inside, so it's super warm. This is the handup flannel, so make sure you check out handup too. Trying to put y'all on this game, because this stuff that I wear it for a reason. I don't wear it to try to sell it. I wear it because I love it. Plus, I don't make no money on it anyway. And speaking of money, while I make sure these tires are where they need to be, these are running tubes. This bike is fully stocked, so I wanted to give it to you as it is. The only thing I've done is put pedals on it. So I want you to see what this bike can do straight out of the box. But speaking of money, I had somebody say, oh, you sold out to Walmart. That's funny. A lot of you don't know that I pass up on a lot of financial opportunities because I want to give you the best content possible. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, it's kind of hard to do that if you are working with brands for money, because they're not gonna just let you say whatever you want to say. And that's not good for the people watching the videos. And it's not good for the creator, because me, if I know my videos are scripted by somebody else or they have to meet somebody else's standards, that really takes the creative flexibility out of the video for me. And it makes me not even want to film. It's hard to be motivated when I know I'm not doing it for you watching my video. That's just me personally. I think we got her all ready to go, so let's go check out these trails. Yeah, so they switched it. Last time I was here, the trail went that way for bikes, but it's this way this time, which is what I'm used to, because this way you start off going downhill. So this way we going straight into the action and really see what this bike can do. The one thing I'm worried about are the brakes, but this is what you're here to watch this video for, to see what this bike can and can't do. So I gotta risk it all for you. I gotta do it so you don't have to, but I'm happy to do it. All right, it's showtime. This bike is actually fast. This bike actually feels good. It feels nimble. I'd be curious to see what it feels like with these tubes in here, since we can't really run lower pressures. These are 2.3 inch tires, 2.35s. I want to try to put 2.4s or 2.6s if I can fit them. I think we might have some dry trail conditions. Now this suspension, it does feel pretty bouncy, but that's to be expected, especially with this fork they got up front and the cheaper coil spring. But it actually rides pretty good. Oh, this is sick. This thing is sick. Let's pray that we don't get a flat tire, but this is actually pretty sick. And you gotta remember, a lot of people don't ride this kind of terrain that I have out here in Colorado. So this is kind of extreme circumstances right here. And this bike is feeling really good. Oh, this is awesome. It feels like a truly legitimate mountain bike. This bike is crazy. I could not believe, oh shoot, you could, this actually handled that way better than I thought it would. It's hard to believe you can get this bike for under $500. Walmart really put some pressure on the bike industry with this one. This is unbelievable, considering the cost and what it is compared to what you would pay normally for a full suspension bike. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some budget bikes out there that are plenty worth it as far as full suspension. But this is just on another level of budget, or should I say, value for money. Can it handle this little creek thing? Okay, let's go. This is icy up here. And one thing I have noticed with this rear suspension, I don't know if it's the coil shock or just because I haven't ridden a full suspension in a while, but I keep having to check to see if my tire is flat, because it's feeling real cushy back there. Now this is the part that kind of sucks, but not bad for the price. You don't have a dropper post. And now I have to go up. And that's not ideal to try to climb with the seat all the way down. But it is a quick release. So that's a good thing. It's actually climbs pretty good. I like I don't know what the seat angle is on this, but I like it. It feels easy to climb with. Yeah, this bike is awesome. It's actually pretty decent climbing. This is surprising, especially considering this fork is not the lightest. But once you get up speed, you can't really feel that weight. I'm pretty surprised at how well this bike shifts. It's so smooth pedaling and shifting. I don't know if I should be worried or excited. Something like this coming to the bike industry, I feel like this is a good thing. To say Walmart shook up the bike industry would be an understatement. This is unbelievable. Let me give you some reference. So you remember when I did the video on the Mongoose Switchback, I talked about how that was a great bike for the price at, I think it was $549 at the time that I was making the videos. And I thought that was a pretty good deal. This is $498, and this is 10 times better. It's got the tapered head tube, the rear through axle, and it's got a rear suspension. Now, if you've been around, you know how I don't like mechanical disc brakes. And that was one of the cons I said about this bike. One of my friends is a head tech at a bike shop, and he approved of this bike actually. The only thing he said he didn't really feel comfortable with, and he had a little bit of an issue with, and I totally agree, looking over everything on the bike and what you get for the price, and that's the brakes. And after riding this bike, let me tell you, I was wrong about that. Now, I'm not saying these are the best brakes, but I trust them. I never ever trust mechanical disc brakes, but these, for what I was doing today, I definitely trusted them. I didn't feel uncomfortable at any time during my ride. When you spend a lot of money on a bike, you kind of feel like you're forced to go out and ride as much as you can. But with this, you get a really good bike without breaking the bank. So you can actually go out and ride when you feel like it. You're like, okay, I didn't spend a ton of money on this bike, so I don't feel obligated to ride it. I can actually ride it when I feel like riding it. So I think this bike will give people peace of mind knowing that they didn't spend all the money they had to try to buy a full suspension bike. With this bike, the fact that I've been under biking, it makes you appreciate what this bike has to offer at the price point. And it's really nice knowing that you could spend $500 pretty much and get a good quality bike. Now, we will have to see what this bike does over the long term, but initially I don't see anything that would give me a reason to think this bike wouldn't be a good bike for what it is at the price point. So if you get the chance to buy this bike and you've always wanted a full suspension, you wanted to get into mountain biking but don't want to spend a lot of money, or you're just curious about it and want to see what it can do, it's definitely worth the money. I suggest whoever wants it, go out there and get it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go enjoy this bike some more. I hope you enjoyed the video. Go out and get you one when it's available, and you're gonna be seeing a lot more with this bike and some cool upgrades in the very, very near future.